Hey everybody, my name is Rachel and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. This is my first ever YouTube video, so I'm sure there's going to be tons of room for improvement. But I wanted to share with you my breast cancer experience. It was about this time of year in 2015, and I wish that I could say that I was doing a self breast exam, but I wasn't. I was in the shower and I just felt a lump, like kind of like right here in my armpit area. And my initial thought was that I had just hurt myself. I worked at a bar at the time. I was always carrying like cases of beer and buckets of ice and helping to move kegs. And so really I just thought I hurt myself. So I decided I'd give it a week and see if it got any better, and it didn't. So I made an appointment with the lady doctor. She said, yeah, this definitely needs to be checked out. I got scheduled for an ultrasound and a mammogram, which is crazy because you know how they say, don't get a mammogram until you're 40. You don't need a mammogram until you're 40. That is false. I was 35 at the time. So anyway, I got the ultrasound and the mammogram, and then I got the call about a week later that my results were abnormal and I needed to come in for a biopsy. So I did that, and then after the biopsy, I asked, hey, you know, like, what are the options that are going to happen here? And they said, you know, we can't tell you that right at the moment, but probably one of these three things. It's nothing. You can get it removed at your inconvenience. It's not cancer, but it's on its way and it needs to be removed, or it is cancer and needs to be removed, and things get a little bit more complicated. Literally I don't know exactly how long it was. It felt like fucking eternity. But that week, those couple weeks of waiting were seriously some of the longest of my life. And, you know, everyone around me kept saying things like, don't worry, that won't happen to you, but you're so young and there's no way, don't even worry about it. And I found that so incredibly annoying because, I mean, there was a possibility that that was going to happen. I tried personally to just, from that moment, start preparing myself for a breast cancer diagnosis. I was really hoping for one of those like moments, but that is not what happened. I went in to see my doctor, my breast doctor. I had an appointment scheduled, and then she had a family emergency, so she called, and her office called and asked if I could, you know, reschedule an appointment, and they wanted to move it back. And I didn't want to wait anymore. I had already waited this grueling week. So I asked if, you know, there was any way I could come in sooner, if I could see her before she left. And they're like, well, I mean, we have a 2 o'clock open. So I left work that day. I was working a double shift. I just went to my boss. I said, hey, I gotta go. I need to do this thing with my doctor. And so I went, and I called my friend Kristen, and I went and picked her up, and we went together. And as soon as my doctor came into the room, like, seriously, the first words out of her mouth were, you're such a young thing. And I knew at that very moment what she was going to say next. I got diagnosed that day with triple negative invasive ductal carcinoma, and that was January 15th. I will probably never forget that day in my entire life. And then what followed next was 20 weeks of chemo, AC, and then Taxol. But there are tons and tons of chemos. Since I was triple negative, there was a possibility of me being BRCA positive. I did a lumpectomy initially, and then I had a port placed, and then I started chemo, and then, you know, I was really torn with what to do as far as lumpectomy versus mastectomy, being the possibility of being BRCA positive, being triple negative, being so young. You know, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do. Ultimately, I decided to do a double mastectomy and reconstruction, and I've done that, and I've done a lot of surgeries following that. Everyone thinks that reconstruction is just augmentation, and it's a super simple process, but that is not true. And yeah, so I just wanted to share a little bit about my breast cancer, and I hope to make lots more videos.